Hello everyone! Magandang araw po sa ating mga listeners. This is #Growth Goals Podcast where we talk about our life in progress, mostly about career and finance. And I'm your host, Rachel. So I'd like to share with you my journey, how I started with my freelancing career. And if you are someone who are looking into entering the freelance industry, you're very much welcome to listen and hopefully you gain something naman. So, flashback muna tayo. I had graduated from college year 2011. That was more than 10 years ago, pero parang kailan lang din. And then, I had 2 full-time jobs, local employment, until 2016. I was in the academy. So, first year pa lang na nag-work ako, I was introduced na to Odesk. It's the former name of Upwork now. So, yung mga time na, yun yung mga time na nagsistart pa lang mag-boom ang online jobs, online freelancing. So, basically, hindi pa talaga siya ganun ka-popular. So, wala lang, parang nakwento lang siya yung ganun, parang na-describe siya sa akin kung anong meron sa website nila, na pwede ka daw mag-apply ng mga projects na kaya mo, tapos babayaran ka, yung tipong as easy as that. And then, hindi ko naman siya masyadong sineryoso kasi parang chikahan portion lang, and never had I imagined na yun yung magti-trigger sa akin. After a couple of years, pumasok na lang siya sa mind ko na, wait lang, check ko nga ulit yung minensyon na website sa akin. So, I can't remember kung kailan ako nag-create ng account. Siguro yun lang yung mga panahon na nagre-relax, nag-browse ka lang, tapos napagawa ka ng account. So, unintentional pa siya. And then, wala naman akong ginawa sa account na yun. Parang nakapark lang siya. And around 2015 ata or 2016, nag-transition ng Odesk to Upwork. So, yun yung mga moment na mas nagiging popular na ang freelancing. So, during those times, I had a full-time job back then. Nagtatry ako mag-send ng application sa mga postings. And I remember, ang kaya ko lang i-offer nun ay PowerPoint presentations, math-related services. Kasi wala pa akong alam talaga sa graphic design at that time. So, yun lang yung kaya kong i-offer. And mahirap pala siya, lalo kung wala ka namang magpapakita na portfolio or previous projects mo kasi nga nag-uumpisa ka pa lang. So, first thing that we need to consider and understand is that it's not as easy as that. But what's important is we have taken our first step. We have started kasi we will never know naman if we won't start in the first place. So, during those times, wala namang nag-accept sa applications ko. So, okay lang naman. So, sometime in 2015, one of my colleagues has given me an opportunity for an extra income. I was working kasi in a publishing company back then as an editor ng math textbook. So, inask niya ako if trip ko bang mag-edit ng online learning materials, and then mabayaran niya ako. So, since kaya naman ng brain cells ko yung specific task, and it's purely online naman, hindi ko need bumiyahe pa just to do the job, then go lang. That's additional source of income. And fortunately, nagtuloy-tuloy siya from that colleague of mine paying me extra to that particular company directly hiring me for a part-time editor role. And I would say that was officially my turning point kasi dun naging reality sa akin na, uy, pwede naman palang multiple source of income. Achievable pala talaga siya. And it came to a point pa na sa part-time job ko, I was earning more than what I was earning sa full-time. So, the second thing that I'd like you to consider is to be open but be mindful as well with the opportunities that come your way. Being open to opportunities means you are giving yourself a chance to explore the possibilities, to explore yung benefits sa'yo. Is it additional income? Is it additional experience? And being mindful means you are giving yourself time to consider the potential effects sa'yo in general. Can you do the job without compromising your current full-time job? That is if it's a part-time thing. Is it time-bound? Pasok ba sa schedule mo? Stuff like that. And I remember nagkaroon na rin ako ng mga tutorial gig aside from my teaching job before, pero hindi ko siya kinaya kasi after ko ng full-time work, I needed to commute pa papunta sa student. So, kumakain din yun ng oras at pagod. So, yun yung mga bagay na kailangan din nating i-consider. And then the third one is, I would say, never quit your full-time job without a backup fund to support you in case hindi maging successful yung freelance career mo. I'm not being pessimistic here. I know you can because first thing, you're open for the possibilities. Kaya ka nga nakikinig at the moment. Kaya ka nga nag-explore. But this is being realistic. Freelancing is a risky game. Well, almost everything naman is us taking a risk even sa full-time jobs natin. There's nothing really stable, especially at this time. But for freelancing kasi, black and white, no work, no pay. Wala kang leave credits. Ikaw ang magsaset ng leave credits mo sa sarili mo. Hindi ikaw din ang sasagot ng leave credits mo. So, I cannot stress this enough. Have some savings first. Savings na you will at least be comfortable enough na you would feel you can survive just in case anything doesn't go well as planned. Especially if, like me, you are a breadwinner, you have existing responsibilities, and tipong hindi ka pwedeng mawala ng work kasi you have to put food on the table. So, yeah, practically, if kaya ng income mo from your full-time job, set aside a portion of it for your backup fund. I won't impose any particular percentage. To each its own. You have your own expenses, so you should be the one deciding kung what portion yung maisi-set aside mo. Now, if hindi talaga kinakaya ng income from your full-time job, then that's a go signal to look for opportunities for additional income to start saving. Again, without compromising your full-time job. Or baka you have to find a job with better compensation, especially if you feel na you deserve to get paid well. So, in my case, I had my full-time job and a part-time job to support my savings goal. Okay, fourth thing, aside from being open to saying yes to opportunities, be open as well to saying no and letting go once you feel na hindi siya para sa'yo. So, in 2016, I was a Sun Life client for, I think, 2 years na at that time. And my financial advisor has asked me if I'm interested to join their team. And I did become a financial advisor. And at that point, I would say I had enough savings na for me to finally let go of my full-time job and fully dive into the freelance industry. Especially at that time, I still had my part-time editing job and then I had started being a financial advisor. So, nandun ako sa point na I needed to choose kasi limited lang din naman ang time natin in a day. We can only do so much. So, I did what I felt I needed to do so that I can move forward. And so I rendered my 1 month notice of resignation. And so ang game plan ko noon, I will still have my part-time editing job. That's my somewhat stable income. And then I will render more time being a financial advisor. And since at that point, I basically can manage my time on my own, I don't have to follow a specific work hours. I will then be able to give more time honing my skills na in demand pagdating sa online freelancing. So the fifth thing I'd like you to remind yourself is that you never stop learning. Never stop learning new things. I never get a chance to obtain formal education pagdating sa like graphic design, arts, creative stuff, but I'm always curious in a lot of stuff kasi I remember I was one of those folks na walang alam sa Photoshop pero I will try something, do something, and i-google ko lang kung anong dapat gawin. So when learning something, if you know for yourself na kung ano yung mga online services na gusto mong i-offer, then that's great. Means you have the direction na on where you're going in being a freelancer. But if katulad ko, you're not even sure kung ano ba yung mga gusto mong i-focus, then it would also be so exciting for you kasi you get to explore different options. So, 3 factors to consider if you're not sure what to pursue in your freelancing journey. First, of course, your passion and interests. So, It's time for you to remember or, think about the things that you enjoy doing, even if you don't expect anything in return or you're happy to spend money just to be able to do it or experience it. Second is your skills and abilities. If you're not sure, like kung saan ka magaling or saan ka may potential, I do recommend asking the people around you. Kasi there's a tendency na we underestimate our abilities and minsan mas nakikita nila kung ano yung kaya mo. You can also consider kung ano na ba yung existing skills and like educational background mo. Freelancing doesn't require a college degree, but it's definitely a plus and a big factor kasi you have built a foundation na for whatever career you'd like to pursue. So why not make use of it? Third is the services na high demand sa freelancing industry. Yes, you might easily identify your passion. Yes, you know kung saan ka magaling. But one important question to answer is, meron bang may kailangan ng interest and skills na gusto mong i-offer? Meron bang market? So, these are the three factors na you have to consider and kung saan sila nag-meet, yun yung sweet spot mo. So, take the time to visit yung mga freelance job sites, Upwork, freelancer.com, freeup.com, Fiverr, which is my favorite, and madami pang iba. And to make the decision making faster, start with the third factor first. Look at the market and check what these potential clients are looking for. And then from there, hopefully you'll be able to see kung saan ka interested and saan ka may potential. Now, once you already identify this particular interest and maybe skills na you'd like to improve or to learn, I'd like to recommend these two learning platforms, LinkedIn Learning and Skillshare. You don't need to spend money upfront. There are a lot of free resources out there, especially if nandun ka sa point na you are exploring pa lang. For LinkedIn Learning, you can create an account there, utilize the 1-month free trial, and explore all the courses they offer. That's 1 month free. Napakadami mo nang pwedeng matake na courses niyan. And then, if after a month, you decide na it's worth the time to extend and pay to continue, then go for it. If not, that's also okay. For Skillshare, they also offer free trial, I think 1 or 2 months, and they also have free courses. And if you opt to continue after the free trial, then that's great. I highly, highly recommend these platforms, and it's all based on my own learning experience. By the way, I put all the links ng mga resources that I mentioned in the description, so feel free to check them out. Okay, so after a lot of submitted applications sa Upwork, a lot of rejections, there came a time na nakaka-receive na ako ng mga responses. And what I did try to change with my applications is yung cover letter or the message that I sent sa potential clients. So the sixth thing I'd like you to take note is that it's not about you pagdating sa cover letter mo. It's not about your skills, your background, your education. It's all about what the client needs. So if you are writing a cover letter, don't just send a generic one. Take time to read the job posting and incorporate that sa cover letter mo. And the content of the letter should answer the question, how can you help the client reach their goal? That's it. They don't care if you graduated from the most prestigious school, university in the universe. They just care how you can solve their problem. So, when I tried to apply this practice, dumating sa point na halos every submit ko ng application, I get a response. Not everyone hired me, and it's okay. But at least I've discovered one thing that would make them more curious about what I can offer to them. And so eventually, I received a couple of job offers. This was purely on Upwork. But I also want to mention that I'm not working through Upwork anymore. It was not a good story. But I was grateful pa din kasi there came a time na 100% ng income ko purely through Upwork. And dumating din sa point I had to give up being a financial advisor. So the seventh thing I'd like you to consider is for you to be adaptable to change. If you feel that something isn't serving your career goal anymore, then something needs to change. So since pinagsabay ko yung pagiging financial advisor and yung online freelancing, I had to choose between the two kasi magkaiba ang level ng effort and time na kailangan mong spend with them. If at present, open na ang insurance companies sa mga online consultations, online meetings, and presentations with your client, before we had to travel a lot to meet with them. And yun yung isang, I would say, big factor sa akin. Kaya kailangan ko siyang i-give up because I was already exposed to a career opportunity na hindi ko na kailangang mag-commute, bumiyahe all the time just to meet with potential clients. So, at that point, something isn't catching up na sa career goal ko and I had to make a choice in order to move forward. And so from there, 2017, I landed a couple of online jobs. One of my clients since 2017, client ko pa rin up to this time. So, the eighth thing I'd like you to take note is that clients come and go. So, sa freelance industry, you'll meet short-term and long-term clients, which is actually one of the exciting parts of being a freelancer. We get to expose with different clients, different companies, different approach. And habang dumadami, nadadagdagan, nababawasan yung clients mo, ang experience mo, one direction. Increasing lang yan. Now, the last thing I'd like you to consider is that you should be able to identify and decide when to pause or when to stop looking for new projects or new clients. Sa freelancing, yes, maybe there's no limit in how much you can earn. The more you work, the more you earn. That's how flexible being a freelancer is. But we should also remember that the number of hours in a day is still the same. Whatever our industry is, all of us have just 24 hours a day. Maybe you can render 8 to 12 hours a day sa work, but never ever compromise your health, your relationships, your personal life, just because of the flexibility that freelancing can offer. So, hopefully you gained something from what I've shared today. I'm rooting for your success in the freelancing industry. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them as much as I can. Thank you so much for listening. This is #Growth Goals Podcast. See you in the next episode.